Hey, hello. Welcome to the Christian Jacob Not Quite a Show. Still not quite a show. Still no dancers, no tap dancing, only piano solo and some audience participation. All right, so you know the drill. Post comments and questions. And I'm gonna start with my warm up. And so today, what I chose to do was a tune by Chick Corea, and it's called "Tones for Joan's Bones," and it's actually it came out in 1968 on an album called "Tones for Joan's Bones" by Chick Corea, and it was actually recorded even 2 years later, 2 years earlier, in 1966. And it's funny, I say those dates because to me, it always in my mind was that tune in particular was always like a great modern a tune that I considered really like a modern jazz. So uh, here it is. So tones for Joan's Bones. Tones for Joan's Bones. That's a hard one for me to say. By Chick Corea. All right, and now time for my original. So this week for my own original, I chose a tune that I wrote a long time ago, over 20 years ago, I believe. And I always feel close to this one. You know, sometimes you write something and 20 years later say, ooh, but I don't know, this one I like. I still like after 20 years. So it's called Muddy Skies. Muddy Skies. All All right. So now it's time to do our audience participation. So for those of you who were not here before, I want to ask you and everyone else to enter your favorite note, just a single note, F sharp, D flat, whatever single note you decide. And then the first 7 notes that I receive, I'm gonna put them into one melody, and then we're gonna see what we can get from that. So please enter it now. And then for the other part of our participation, I would like to revisit what we did the very first show, which was humming. A couple of you had a great experience on this, but I want to really show you on something that I really love. So, first let me explain slightly why I'm doing this. Actually the tune I was just playing right now is a good example because it's based on 2 chords. You got those 2 chords, but you got that note here, and that note is really what connect those 2 chords, of course, but that's also what makes you feel the feeling of those 2 chords. So this time I'm gonna ask you to hum this note here. Like if you close your mouth, and while I'm gonna play, you're gonna hum this note throughout the whole time I'm playing. If possible, have a nice mix in your head about your own humming and me playing, kind of at a nice same level, so we can kind of be together while apart. And so I'm gonna play the more I see you over that note. So you're gonna hear I'm using some different chords because my game is to make those chords fit that note no matter what, So ready? Let's do this. So you're gonna hum this one. All right. So how was it? Did it work? Were we together while apart? So that was, of course, the more I see you. Okay. Now, okay, I'm gonna play an old Jimmy Van Heusen tune called "Like Someone in Love." right, like someone in love. Okay, now it's time for a little travel in time. So I have that time machine that I bought on eBay, and every week we traveled to a day in my life, which was a very important day for me, a great day, I think. So far we've been seeing a lot of great artists, and today same thing. We're gonna go to the year 2000 in March 27, 2000. We're gonna try going there in Los Angeles in Catalina Bar and Grill, the old building which was on Cahuenga Boulevard, and I had a concert there with a big band. You know, when I ended after I played with Maynard on the road and I came back to Los Angeles, I did a lot of big band, and I always loved big bands, and I was in a lot of big bands. Actually, I've been in Bill Holman big band for over 15 years, and I'm kind of still is. And so before that, I was in Jack Sheldon big band. So let's see if we can go there. March 27, 2000.
You don't want to know, Chris. But you're the leader. So we do this, really? Okay.
You beat up the band.
Now, wait a minute. Well, I will tell you one thing, if I may presume. I think you ought to do, you don't take that away from me?
Yes.
Slower.
Okay.
Next time?
Too late now.
That's one of the great songs ever written. That's a song and a half. That song. Okay.
Did you write that?
No, I wish I did. The Gershwin wrote that. I wrote it.
I love that song you wrote. What are you doing in bed with my wife?
No. Translate is, what are you doing the rest of your life? Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's take it nice and easy. It's gonna be so easy for us to fall in love. Hey baby, what's your hurry? Relax, don't you worry. We're gonna fall in love. We're on the road to romance. Let's say, let's get all the stars away. The round horses I think it's all falling into place. So let's get comfy. Look at those bells are about to jacket. You're a very attractive man. Maybe after this set we could go for coffee and a chat. I'm really not quite gay. I'm on the edge though.
All right. Well, it worked very good. Yeah, it was a Jack Sheldon big band in 2000. What a burning big band. And this day there was a guest. Obviously you heard, and that guest was Alan Bergman. You know, the great lyricist of fame, Alan and Marilyn Bergman, you know, who wrote like The Way We Were, Windmills on Your Mind, What Are You Doing the Rest of Your Life? And then, so Jack Sheldon playing, and you might have noticed on bass Trey Henry again, on drums Ray Brinker again, always following me everywhere. So anyway, that was that was it. So that was our trip for this time. Now I'm gonna play another tune, and then I'll go and check if there is any questions, so you can already enter questions or comments or nothing. And I'm gonna play for you Alone Together, which is a Arthur Schwartz tune. So here it is. Okay. Alone together, shorts and beats. Okay, let me see if I should come around and see if we have any question. Oh, I'm always taking that mouse the wrong way. Well, a very nice comment. Thank you. All right. Well, I had a question from probably last week that I didn't see, and so I'm going to answer this one. Well, it was simply, what is my favorite classical composer? All right. Well, if you must know, I actually thought of it, and then I thought, you know what, I really have two. One is Frédéric Chopin, and the reason, there's no reason, you know, when you have a favorite, you love it. But I know that I saw that he always played, he's very pianistic, but always very, very musical behind. And I always kind of enjoy the music, kind of, how can I say? I don't want to be negative, but I think a lot of players always consider Chopin a technique. And so when they do an interpretation of Chopin, it's all right. Why? Because it's hard to play. So it's technique. Even the etude, you know, it's arpeggio and things like that. But that's always on the service of a very emotional moment, and so it married together, so incredible. And I always feel very close to Chopin. So. You know, the first time I had a choice to play a concerto with orchestra, I chose Chopin, and Chopin was definitely not the best orchestrator. So in terms of concerto, for the orchestra point of view, it might not be a great choice, but musically, Chopin has always been very close to me. And so the second half of my favorite is Rachmaninoff. So Rachmaninoff is just takes my soul, and you know, there's no explanation, but it's pure music, pure soul, and that's basically, that's, you know, the one that makes me cry. So that's it. Okay, so that was it. All right, let's just, yeah, I see a lot of you love Chopin too, and let's get to the arranging on the fly. So let's see what those 7 notes are, and then, all right. All right, so I wrote those. So it's interesting this week because we got a D sharp, okay, and then the next one was E flat, which is exactly the same note. And then after that, we had the G sharp again. So then we had a B. Then we had an F. Then we had the B flat. And then we had the D. So we had, again, here. All right. So let's put some chords on this and see where we're going. Okay, well, here it is, very, very simple and classical. It works pretty much on like this. All right, well, listen, I want to thank you very much for coming, for being here. I always enjoy the company, and you know, same. I'm gonna play a last one to let you go, And again, if you want to support this show, stick around, and at the end, you're gonna see how you can help. Uh, and any question you have, or you can always email me. My email is christian@christianjacob.com. Email me for anything. Ask me questions or whatever. You're welcome. And thank you so much for coming. And so, since today I was little really into the standards, I thought, well, what better than play probably one of the very first one I learned. All the things you are. you next week. Bye.